Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Andria Carter.
And if you did not know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky area. How's it going, Andrea?
It's going great, coming off a great 4th of July vacation. Um, it was a it was a little hot, a little rainy. Got to see some friends I hadn't gathered with in a long time. Right before the 4th, I went to my family reunion, which was fantastic. Had a little drama come right getting to it and coming back. Um, watch out for those hot potholes on the highways. You never know what damage they can do to your tire.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say that I was on I-90, no, I was on I-65 North, heading out of Indianapolis, going towards Chicago, because I was driving to St. Paul, Minnesota with my sister. Hit this pothole where something was sticking up out of it. But because you're merging and moving over to get, the highway splits, and it came up really quick, heavy traffic, and hit the darn thing. It wasn't until I was in Wisconsin and we were at this rest stop, and my sister happened to look at the tire and went, Andrew, what's wrong with your tire? I was like, what are you talking about? And there was a small, you know how you have those sprockets, and in between each sprocket, you have that little part of metal to space them out and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So why was my rim missing a piece of metal?
Oh,
Yes, and there was a knot forming on the tire. There's also another piece missing on the tire, just small little taken out. And we were like, okay, it's a rest stop. It's 5 o'clock. We have to get to St. Paul, and there's no way AAA will find us right now. So we prayed to God and said, Lord, help us. We were lucky. We were about 30 minutes from the hotel when the car started vibrating. That's when the air in the tire starts really going down. So we made it to the hotel. My cousin, who first saw us, took one look at the tire and went, "Oh my God, what did you do?" And we talked to my cousin, and then we called AAA. And it's serious when the AAA guy takes a picture of your tire before he puts the spare on for you. So,
oh,
so I had to go buy a rim and two new tires. So
oh.
that was my travel drama, and it is what it is. So that was the drama we had leading into the family reunion. And driving back, the only thing we had going for us back coming back was traffic. Getting caught up in all that traffic outside Chicago, going to cross into Indiana. And other than that, that was it. So that was my 4th of July. Financially, it took a hit to my budget,
Mm.
which I was not happy about because it took a hit to my sister's budget, who had to cover us as I had to pay for the tire. So, it's not a happy July, but I had a
Yeah,
happy 4th. Yay!
yeah, that's
Oh,
important.
and the coup de grace was road debris hit my windshield. So I now went from a little crack to a snaking crack.
Oh no.
So I made my appointment. It'll be replaced before the end of the month. So,
Oh no.
yes. So this is going to show you, you never know what's going to happen to you on the road. But we had a fantastic drive. It was beautiful going up into Minnesota. Drove past a lot of campers, a lot of RV users. In fact, we started admiring, you know what? In retirement, we could just buy a camper and drive around. That could be the house, and we just figure out where we get mail. And it was the beauty of the camper we witnessed on the road. Um, and on YouTube they have those videos of
Hmm.
campers where people camp out. Actually, in Europe and Germany, they have these unique campers with like little houses in the snow that they can. But anyway, So, but that was my 4th of July weekend, or
Oh, okay.
pre 4th of July and everything. But the big thing is the family went to the George Floyd Square,
Oh, okay.
and it was emotional to see. They have in front of the store, they have this honor, this memoriam, huge thing. They have a mural down where he actually died.
Mm,
They put a mural. There's another mural that someone did. There was another mural hidden on a wall on a side, a building on the side behind the store of where it all went down, and has all the great um, historical icons that we look up to: Angela Davis, Marcus Garvey, Huey P. Newton, Dick Gregory, Mary McLeod Bethune, and Malcolm X. And then the football player who's been booted out of football.
wait, who?
The football guy.
Football guy. Oh, OJ, right?
No, not OJ. Well, he was booted out. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was, but no. Kaepernick.
Oh, Colin Kaepernick. Right, right,
Colin
right. Yeah.
Kaepernick.
Okay. Okay.
And they had a mirror. They had a mirror on another opposite wall of him.
Mm,
So it was wonderful. It was great. But you know what? It sort of kicked my July off for all what's going down now. It set the tone.
mm.
So, take care of self, be aware of anything that comes out of the blue, and just be prepared to handle it. Um, and then, just stand your ground,
Yeah,
because you never know when you're gonna have to stand up for yourself. So
that's
that
true.
was that was the beginning of my July. It's
Okay.
fantastic. It's a nice way to kick off our chocolate news. So,
Yeah, 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 indeed.
what did you do? Barbecue?
Yeah, just we had people over, we barbecued and everything. It did, it rained on and off that day, so we tried to find in between times to go in the pool and everything. And when it wasn't raining, we swam, barbecued, and eventually we set off some fireworks. So, it was a solid 4th of July.
Yeah,
Tiring
well,
because we
it
hosted.
whoa, hosting, yes, is tiring.
Yeah.
I did a potluck, and I went over to a friend's house, and then her neighbors down the street were shooting off fireworks.
Mm.
Um, but I did have wonderful conversations about barbecue rubs and brisket.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm still trying to get my cousin's recipe. He won't give it. So, um, I just want to know what his rub was, because he marinated the brisket for 12 hours, starting at midnight through the day.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yes, that's what I said. And he had marinated the meat, and he wouldn't tell me what the marinade was, because he said it was both. He marinated it and then did a dry rub on top of it to season it.
Oh, wow.
It was juicy. It was
That
juicy.
that that sounds good. It was basically just hamburgers and hot dogs.
I can go with that too. I can go with
Yeah.
that too. But overall, um, like I said, what happened to me kicked off my July is interesting. So first up, politics is part of the conversation.
Oh yeah, of
Um,
course.
of course, it was the part of the conversation. And first off, something new that just occurred um, is that AOC. Well, wait, I should not call her. Everyone doesn't know who AOC is. New York Democratic Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio Cortez. Um, she filed an articles of impeachment on Wednesday, on today, against the Supreme Court justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito.
Good.
Yes, it's. I mean, we've seen articles about Clarence Thomas and now Alito separately, but she has filed for their impeachment because of their actions. I think their rhetoric. I'm surprised she didn't add in the three that were appointed by Trump, because they all said in their congressional hearings that they would not. Well, no, I wouldn't say. that they would not hurt Roe v. Wade. They
Hmm.
all spoke about Roe v. Wade. Um, they didn't think it would be overturned, and what they all do, they overturned it. So
Well, I think maybe because she thinks, well, she has the strongest case against Thomas and Alito. Definitely Thomas. I
yes,
mean, I just think if you're accepting gifts, that should automatically disqualify you from being a Supreme Court judge. But hey, that's my opinion, but whatever.
yeah, I think so. I think Alito too. Um, it's just unfortunately it's just sad what's going on with
It
them. But
really is. And I know like some people were trying to say, oh well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg accepted gifts or whatever. I'll just say, well, you know what, maybe we should just not have Supreme Court justices accepting anything at all. You
no,
know,
I think
shouldn't that just be a thing? I
I,
mean, I don't know. That's what I thought.
well, but he did. The thing was, Ruth Bader declared everything.
Oh, okay. So Thomas is not declaring.
He didn't. Half the stuff that he's come out, he didn't declare. He didn't let
Oh,
anybody
okay.
know.
Gotcha.
Alito, he didn't let anybody know.
Okay, gotcha.
And then, well, Alito is more ethical. His ethics, especially with the flag. Um, and Thomas is more, I would say, financial ethics,
Mm.
and for Alito, it's moral ethics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
But there are strong cases against the two to at least, it's an unchecked corruption case that Chief Roberts is like, no, he's not going to do anything. And I'm like, dude, you're losing your control of your court. So it's just interesting. But anyway, so AOC happened today. What also happened today, Kamala Harris is on the summer tour, going around the country, talking with folks, reminding people what's important, what's at stake, what's going on with the democracy. And Kamala is, I I'm very proud to say this, that I she is my soror. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. So am I. Um, and she is planning to speak, be the keynote for two sororities. First, Alpha Kappa Alpha, which occurred today, and then later in the month of July, she's going to be speaking before Zeta Phi Beta's national conference. I believe it's going to be held in Indianapolis. So maybe she'll do a pop over to Cincinnati since she's going to be so close. You never know.
Yeah.
Um, but she spoke today's, dressed in her pink, addressing her sorors, calling out the women in her line were in the audience, and she called them out, thanking them for their friendship and everything, and all the work that Alpha Kappa Alpha does. And she said, ladies, she says, you know what we do and how we lead. And she thanked them for their leadership in the last election. She thanked them for their continued leadership on various issues like healthcare, social justice, voting, um, and then letting ladies know, Roe v. Wade is an issue, democracy is an issue, Project 25 is an issue. Um, she went through the gamut, and she had on a very nice salmon colored suit that I loved, by the way. Um, so I gotta work on my pink and green game. So um so she did that, but also it goes along, um the talk about the Biden Harris campaign, where it stands, you know, prior to the 4th of July, um, the beginning, prior to the 4th of July week, I should say, Joe Biden had that debate, and he didn't do a great job. Actually, he
No.
looked like an old man,
Yeah.
and it freaked a lot of people out.
Oh yeah.
And which he's old. He's
Yeah.
80, what,
81,
81?
right?
He's
Yeah.
81. But you know what? I say everyone needs to calm down. And he had a bad day. But think about this. Prior to that day, he hadn't had a bad day. He had been on it, running the country, defending democracy, defending Ukraine, going over to the G7 summit, going over to honor World War II veterans over in France, talking about NATO, everything. And he had a bad night. And I think everyone's worst, it's a worst case scenario of fear that has been highlighted. Now you have all these people calling him to step down. I don't think he can win, all this type stuff. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? That's all well and good. But it's too late to go with anybody else because he's on the ballot now in at least over 52 states.
Yeah.
Do you know how long and how hard it takes and to meet the deadline to get on the November ballot? Those deadlines are now.
Yeah.
If anyone new comes on board, they'll have to be a write-in candidate.
Oh, yeah.
They can't replace. Even if there's time to do a replacement, you still got to get signatures for them. So I think everyone needs to take a step back, calm down, grow a pair, and look at what Donald Trump represents. Because on that night, even though he had a bad night, Biden told the truth. He answered the questions. Donald Trump lied 34 times. Do you want a convict and a liar? Or you want a guy who can do the job and have a great team behind him? Because we know the team behind Trump will do their worst. And he represents Project 2025, which I know everyone is hearing about, the 900-page pamphlet. Well, it's not a pamphlet, it's a 900-page book that originally was not supposed to be public.
Really?
But someone found it on, I got it from the Heritage Foundation or some place that was sponsored or around or something like that, but is sponsored by the Heritage Foundation, and they put it out there for everyone to see, to spread the word about this project. And it's 900 pages about the Christian nationalists who want to change democracy so the white man is back in control fully, and no one of color and really no female are in charge.
Cool.
They they want women to go back to just, birthing babies, staying at home, and they want Black people to be back in of service and nothing else. And I got an email from someone who was passing along the 30 um the, the 30 things they want to accomplish out of this 900-page document. And I'll read it to you. In no fault divorce, which I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Complete ban on abortions without exceptions, a ban on contraceptives, addition tax breaks for the 1%, higher taxes for the working class, elimination of unions and worker protections,
Mm.
raise the retirement age. Oh, look, I can't retire until I'm 70 already. So, how much higher are you going to go?
Yeah, exactly.
Cut Social Security, which is the reason why we don't have an elderly generations in the street homeless
Yeah.
because of Social Security. Cut Medicare, in the Affordable Care Act, raise prescription drug prices,
Oh, yay.
eliminate the Department of Education,
Ooh, double yay.
use public school tax dollars for private religious schools,
Oh, triple yay.
end free and discounted lunch programs,
Mm.
end civil rights and diversity, equity, inclusion protections in the government, ban Afro-American and gender studies, all levels of education, ban books and curriculum about slavery, end climate protection, increase Arctic drilling, deregulate big business and oil industry, promote and expedite capital punishment, end marriage equality, condemn single mothers while promoting traditional families only, defund the FBI and Homeland Security, Use the military to break up domestic protests, mass deportation of immigrants and incarceration in camps, in this is the scary one, in birthright citizenship.
Hmm. Oh,
That means,
you mean that thing we've had since like what, the 1800s?
yes, ban Muslims from entering the country,
Oh.
eliminate federal agencies like the FDA, EPA, NDAA, and more, pack lower courts with right wing judges, and the one that wounds my heart, close historically black colleges and universities.
Oh, yeah. Um, so that list, was the IRS on that list to defund the IRS and the
No,
IRS? Oh, of course they're not going to get rid of the IRS.
no,
Yeah, that's pretty scary, all of that.
right.
That
And just think about in the birthright citizenship, that means everyone born on American soil would not automatically be a citizen. Think about that. That means we would probably have to fight for our citizenship or take a test or do some task or something really, really cruel. That means that everyone, black or brown, not white, could be shipped out of the country to go to a different country because we technically would not be Americans.
well, a couple of things on that list like really stand out to me. Uh, like the no fault divorce, which I think is kind of hilarious because Reagan was the I think he was the governor of California. He was the one who put that in the law, I think.
Yes,
So I think that's a little ironic. And also getting rid of the, what was it, the school uh breakfast and lunch programs.
yes,
So they're just saying, oh, so poor kids just don't get to eat anymore, huh? That's like,
yeah.
I mean, that's just, and the contraceptives, that's just, once again, it's like, just get out of my bedroom. I don't, I don't know what it is with white conservatives and just like trying to get into people's bedrooms
Well, the problem is
I don't
that,
understand that.
well, you have to understand why white men were against abortion. And it's because of who was getting abortions the most. Now, they will tell you it was black and brown women, but it was the majority, the women in the majority community, white, were getting the most abortions. That means the birth rate of white children is down. And on top of that, a number of women, white, black, brown, all are having hard times of getting pregnant. And, they want to eliminate IVF, and IVF helps women get pregnant.
Yeah.
Um, and they want to eliminate that. And, it's interesting. They want to chastise single mothers and only promote families.
Yeah.
Again, that's from that Christian right,
Right.
logical, that 50s beaver, leave it to beaver lifestyle.
Yeah.
Um, when there were a lot of single mothers out there, black and white, who were left by their men to fend for themselves. They don't want to talk about that. Um,
I also just find it so funny that everyone, like the Christian right, has this like, oh, things were so great in the 1950s and stuff, but that was all advertisement.
yes, it was.
It's like if you ever seen the show Mad Men, they talk about that. That's all advertising.
But
It was not like that, like at all. Everyone
no,
has this nostalgic rose-colored glasses on, but the 50s were not like that at all.
no, I
It's
mean,
insane.
really and truly, this is about power.
Yeah.
This is about a control over people. It's about control over what they deem is acceptable and what's not acceptable. I mean, think about who is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Right.
This represents his viewpoint. His wife is a stay-at-home wife. She doesn't work. She takes care of the kids. And this is what they want America to be. You know, there are a lot of women who are very independent, and they you know, a lot of people are not getting married anymore. A lot of women are very independent. They don't want to be told what to do. And that scares, a strong woman intimidates men. And
I have no idea why though. And that's the whole point of like feminism too. It's like if a woman wants to go home and raise her kids, she can, but she
right,
also has the choice not to. So I'm just like, it's just this is just all so stupid. It,
it's
it
ridiculous. It's about power, it's about control, and it's about fear of the future of not having that power. Obama scared people. Kamala Harris scares people. Hillary Clinton scared people. And they don't like, you know, they don't like that. They don't want that future. They want this future where they're in control. And the problem is that it's going to backfire. I believe it will backfire on them. So it's kind of sad. So, but that being said, I know we'll be talking more about Project 2025.
oh yeah.
And we'll have to bring people on to have a discussion about this and, try and find, who I would like to hear from? A young Black Republican
I would
about this stuff.
too. Maybe
I
one
just,
who's not like a total MAGA. That would be
oh,
nice.
oh, I have to find someone.
Just someone who leans more conservative, but just isn't in the MAGA cult. That's all I ask for. That's all I
Someone
ask
who's
for.
willing to admit that, you know what, I admire Black Republicans.
Yeah.
I really do. Um, but this is crazy. Because
Yeah.
is what they're promoting is not GOP. It's some GOP, but not all the way. Because I mean, there was some things that the GOP stood up for, like they stood up for drilling, but they also like to protect the environment somewhat. Um, they were for they are for birthright citizenship because it affects them as well if they end it. Um, I would just say that some of the things here, as more and more people hear about this, they're going to be like, no.
Yeah.
So this list was sent to me, um, and I think I sent it to you, and or I forwarded you that email, and I'll probably post it on my Facebook page or something or other,
Yeah.
um, because this is out. This is crazy. This is so crazy.
No, it's insane. It really is.
But also, what's insane is you and I were talking about this. Paramount Global.
Oh,
Well,
don't get me don't get me started.
Paramount got bought by Sky Media. Is that what
Uh
it was?
Skydance.
Sky Dance.
Yeah, it's and if you don't know what Skydance is, it's basically a production company run by David Ellison, who is the son of Larry Ellison and Andrea. Who is Larry Ellison? He's the what the
Oracle.
Oracle. Yeah, Oracle. Yeah. So basically billionaire, stupid rich, insanely rich. I think all I gotta say is that Larry Ellison basically just bought a studio basically because Skydance isn't as profitable as, other production companies. But I am glad though, because I was following the Paramount Global sale because I'm trying to remember her name, Sherry Redstone.
Yes.
She's been wanting to sell that company for a while now. So I'm just like I'm just glad it's not getting like stripped for parts and
No.
everything because
Because I mean,
that would be sad if the company gets stripped for parts because Paramount because I went to the Paramount lot like years ago, took a tour on their lot. It has a lot of history. I'm just glad it has another buyer now because it would be sad if it got stripped for parts and everything.
well, but you do realize Paramount is CBS
Yeah,
and all the channels that go along with CBS.
yeah,
And
but
and
oh, go ahead.
It's Star Trek Discovery. It's
Yeah, I love Star Trek Discovery.
oh, it's Blue Bloods. It's
Yeah.
Equalizer. It's
Yeah.
um
They got
CBS News,
they got
60 Minutes,
Showtime. Yeah.
Showtime. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable all what they have underneath the Paramount brand.
Yeah.
The new leadership is there's going to be the co-CEOs going to be George Cheeks and Chris McCarthy and Brian Robbins. Ooh, that's a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah, that
Oh,
that is a
oh no.
lot.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm taking that back. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Redstone had three CEOs, and now so this will become David Ellison,
Okay, gotcha.
and he's gonna take over the reins.
Right.
Um, he is a former actor. I still don't know what he really was in. Um,
I don't know either. I just know him as Larry Ellison's son, and he's just playing with daddy's money. I shouldn't say that, but
well,
uh
it's big time.
yeah.
And Larry Ellison, is he a Buddhist or he is he a I know he's
Is
into Zen.
is he?
Um, he's
I don't know.
very
I thought that was Phil Knight for some reason.
no, I
Be-
remember reading an article about Larry Ellison
hmm
and he had an epiphany, but I can't remember if it was because he became a Buddhist or he was really into the many religions of India where they have different deities. I can't remember what it was,
Hmm.
but he based running Oracle off of what he learned of being, I think, I'm just going to go with Buddhist
Okay.
because I'm doing this from memory and my memory's not that great right now. Um, but I remember based off of that religious experience made him a better businessman,
Okay.
um,
Interesting.
especially in the tech world. If you think of all of the um, evolutions of tech right now going
Right.
through, you know. But also, but as we watch this merging of this new company of Paramount, um, we also have to watch what they're purging from their archives.
Right.
And they have been purging a lot of content, especially featuring a lot of Black and brown people. MTV News, The
Yeah.
Griot,
Yeah.
other entities of where shows have been taken off the air. Certain scenes were deleted, or certain shows were deleted that featured Black people. So we
Yeah.
have to be careful that as things merge and they go away, that they're making sure they're preserving who was on that show, because they might preserve certain parts of the show, but if you all remember, like, for instance, this Black chef appeared on it and he did a great job and it was one of the highest rated shows, blah, 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 blah. It may not be in the archives. So
Yeah.
we have to watch our content and be aware that this is our, a fixture of our culture, of what is influencing our lifestyles. And a lot of Black people, a lot of what Black people do influence the lifestyles of the whole world. Um, Not a
Yeah.
lot of people will admit it, but it happens. So we just have to watch that. Um,
Just real quick, just to expand upon that just a little bit. Uh, Also with Comedy Central, they just deleted like a whole bunch of cl episodes of The Daily Show from their website too. And
yes.
and you were talking about with MTV News, like MTV News is no more. It's like if you try to go to MTV News, it would just direct you to Paramount Plus. And I just find it like really scary that things that people write, they work on, they put their livelihood into can just be just deleted at the click of a button and not even be archived just so they can save a couple bucks.
Hmm.
And
Because
there's no way you can view it. It's like
no.
even if you wanted to, it's like even if you say I want to pay to get, archived or whatever, you can't. It's just gone, which is it's really scary. Thank goodness for the Internet Archive because at least some of the things are archived, but like I said, a lot of stuff is gone.
Yes. And just think about what has appeared in the past that if it has not been archived, we would not see it, i.e., Roots.
Right.
Those all the ABC miniseries, the
Right.
big ones. I mean, the blockbusters like Shogun, the original Shogun, and
Right.
Thornbirds.
Right.
I loved the Thornbirds. Oh, uh,
Well,
and
just remember, like way back when movies were getting started in like the silent era, they
yes,
just used to just burn the film to just save space because they
yes,
thought it wasn't any good after that. And like with the BBC, they just used to tape over their programs because they didn't think it was any value in that. That's why with the people were trying to preserve all the Doctor Who episodes because a lot of them were lost because BBC would just tape over the old episodes and stuff. There's still like missing programs and missing movies to this day because they either burnt the film or because it cost money to store film, I guess. So
and
it's just like
I mean, think
it's
about all the movies that have been created of the old way of making films, and they are sitting in tins right now, disintegrating,
yeah, exactly.
and they're trying to preserve it, and they can't. Think of
Yeah.
all those movies that have lost. Oh my God!
Yeah.
So we just need to be preserve your content. If you like something and they did not put it on CD or film, or you didn't download it, save it.
Save
Um,
it.
Save it. You never know. Um,
And I don't like the pirate stuff, but if you can't find things, sometimes you may have to sail the high seas to get it. I'm not advocating that, but sometimes the
and
companies, you know, they
hey,
make it your only choice to
yeah. I
sail the
mean,
high seas sometimes.
China's known as a copyright infringement for a reason.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get a whole bunch of stuff from China.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, about preservation and honoring, I do want to mention two things. One, um, 3CDC has announced that they're going to rebrand the area around Fountain Square. It's a two-block area around Fountain Square. They're going to rename it the Fountain District because it has unique stores and things like that in it. So it's just another way to brand um, the Fountain Square area because it's known for its concerts, its speeches, its activities, and the different stores around it. There's that. So if you see it downtown, don't be alarmed. It's just a little rebranding technique to see what they can do to promote Fountain Square area and the businesses within that district. Um, Also, another thing, earlier this year we lost a wonderful politician, Bridget Kelly, who was the Hamilton County Auditor. She did serve as a state rep for a long time, and she served the people well. She even helped me with my mother during COVID to to you know when they everything was shut down and they closed nursing homes to family members, and I fought to get back in to see my mother because she was in hospice care and she couldn't speak or couldn't walk. Bridget Kelly helped me and guided me through how to get to people to talk about opening up the process. And she had the ear of the state government. And I did my thing down here with media and things like that. 5 days later, after they opened up the doors, and Bridget Kelly was part of that effort. And I will never forget her for that. And they want to rename the Norwood Lateral after Bridget Kelly. And I think she is such a wonderful human being. Um, she went out of her way to help all kinds of people with all kinds of issues, and she was just a truly a person who saw no color, and she was a truly wonderful human being. And I think what a wonderful honor to honor her memory and her legacy of what she was as a politician. So I hope it passes, and I hope they do it. And last but not least, I saved the best for last because we're seeing throwdowns and battles, politics in sports, whether it's basketball, baseball. Wait a minute, what is it right now? Baseball, soccer. We got the Olympics coming up. Well, there was another battle going on. It was a rap battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And it started off, I think, in like April, May, and it
Yeah.
just ended. And Kendrick Lamar won the rap battle. But, you know, some people just say, Yay, I won and walk away. Well, no, no. Kendrick Lamar wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he won and dish Drake one more time. So on 4th of July, no, was it 4th of July? Yeah, on 4th of July, he dropped the Not Like Us video, which I should say, not dishes, disses Drake one more time and features his fiance and kids in the video. But this video is his victory lap amongst this rap battle, which is unbelievable. And I just think, everyone take a look at the video. You'll enjoy it. It's Kendrick Lamar. I mean, how many times can you crush a person when they're down? That's
Yeah.
all I got to say. But, you know, I can't rap, so I'm not even going to throw shade. I'm just like, whoa, go from there. And that is all the chocolate news for today.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Andrea. And yeah, that's it for today's show. I want to thank Andrea again for all the chocolate news.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And remember, folks, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.cincinnatiherald.com, the session newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. You can listen to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts at. I'm John Alexander Reese,
And I'm Andrea Carter.
and have a good day.